Halfway through the Season 10 of the GBA, and the Bullet Punch Club is in high spirits, especially with how well our team has been performing as we're staying in the #1 position with a 5-0 record. But all of this is not without a cause. We say that because the two best performing coaches will get a round 1 bye in playoffs, immediately taking them to the semifinals. With that in mind, that's exactly what your boy is going to be aiming for as we face our next opponent, Just Weavile and the Wolverhampton Weaviles, possessing threats such as Great Tusk, Gengar, and Walking Wake with 2 Terra captains in Iron Leaves and Frostmoth. We're gonna have to go all out just like we always do. So here's exactly what we brought. Starting off, we got the debuting Weakness Policy Hisuian Braviary with Esper Wing, Roost, Calm Mind, and Hurricane. And let me tell you right now, just how amazing of a lead Pokemon this is. With this EV investment, I am guaranteed to live every single super effective hit from his Pokemon that isn't boosted by an item. Meaning that I can get a free Weakness Policy boost and then proceed to do insane damage with Esper Wing, which gives me a +1 speed boost. Something that can very much snowball into absolute disaster, as with Tinted Lens, he has nothing that wants to switch in on it. I very much see this putting in a lot of work against him. With threats like Scarf Gengar and speed boosted Great Tusk running around, we need a reliable revenge killer. Enter the Choice Scarfed BPC ace Meowscarada with Flower Trick, U-Turn, Knockoff, and Play Rough. This coverage alone hits his entire team for good damage because with Protein, I'm guaranteed to have a reliable way to revenge both his Walking Wake and Galarian Moltres if need be. That, and with Momentum by my side, I'll be able to pressure him really well with my offense. Next up is our staple Belly Drum Azumarill with Aqua Jet, Play Rough, Brick Break, and Belly Drum. This investment is really unique in the sense that with this, I'll be able to have a reliable switch into his Walking Wake and even take a hit from his Galarian Moltres before recovering my health back with a Citrus Berry. The reason I'm running this set over AV is because depending on how the turn sequences go, I can actually force him into a scenario where I can get a free Belly Drum off, and depending on the choice of his 6 Pokemon, even just end the game then and there, no questions asked. Belly Drum is really nice because not only does it get rid of screens, it also kills off his Bisharp. Halfway through, and once again we are in need of a certain Megastar. And you know exactly what is coming next, because let me talk to ya, we're bringing in Sharp Beak LA Knight with Terra Blast, Aqua Tail, Low Kick, and Dragon Dance. That's right, this time I'm taking no prisoners at all, as with the Sharp Beak boost, I am guaranteed to outright decimate every single Great Tusk set with a +1 Terra Blast that isn't a Cobra Berry. That and his team has literally 0 switch-ins to a +1 Dragonite because once I get that off, nothing at all wants to come in and take a hit from it. +1 Aqua Tail one-shots physically defensive Rotom Heat after a little chip damage, and Low Kick is there to one-shot his Bisharp. Of all the threads that I got, this is very much the biggest one of them all. Yeah! As we're reaching the end game, we need some defensive pivots. Enter our BPC MVP, Uxie, with Psychic, Foul Play, Yawn, and U-Turn. With the Rocky Helmet by my side, I'm guaranteed to get the needed chip damage off on his Great Tusk, thereby putting it in range of my +1 Dragonite. That and this set pretty much is here to act as a check to both his Tusk and Iron Leaves with Psychic and Foul Play respectively. Yawn is really good here too, because I can very much force to set up Pokemon into situations of opportunity costs, because once I put him to sleep, I have 3 of the most deadliest Pokemon to come in and potentially put him into game-ending scenarios. Last but not least, we got Unaware Clodsire with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Poison Jab, and Recover. Now, you may be wondering why I'm bringing Unaware this week instead of Water Absorb when he has a Walking Wake. And to put it simply, this is just the better set to use against this team. Because when he has potential threats such as set up Galarian Moltres and set up Rotom Heat, the ability literally puts a hard stop to these shenanigans. I'm running Poison Jab this week because it stops potential sub-nasty plot Rotom Heat from going absolutely crazy against me, with the attack investment ensuring that I'll always be breaking its substitutes. That and Stealth Rocks goes a long way in setting up the endgame for my sweepers. So yeah, that's the team for this video. If you're enjoying it, please do like and subscribe as I want to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I can only do that with all of your lovely support. And without further ado, let us move on to the game. Alright guys, we're back right now, ready to go against our good friend Just Weavile, and let us see exactly what he brought. Okay, so there's no Screamtail, which is very perplexing and surprising to me, if I'm being completely honest. No Screamtail and no Bisharp, which is very good, because this does mean that I can most certainly lead off with my Wyndham and be able to go on from there. But yeah, with there being no Screamtail, it definitely makes things a bit more easier for me to end this game with my Dragonite. Yeah, Dragonite, and also I won't be stuck in any Encore shenanigans. But yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how this match goes overall. I got as much prep as I possibly could. So with that said, there is not much to do other than lead off with our dedicated lead, aka Wyndham. Shout out to Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace, my man. And yeah, with that being said, let us begin the game. He pretty much brought the exact Pokemon I expected him to, with the exception of Walking Wake, which is why I'm honestly relieved to bring Azumarill here instead of my Lycanroc Dusk. Obviously, from an offensive standpoint, it had phenomenal matchup against the vast majority of his squad, but I don't want to make my team too vulnerable to like Draco Meteor. No, I don't necessarily want to make my team too vulnerable to Specs, Draco Meteor, and so on. But yeah, have fun to you, my man. Alright, so he is going to lead off with his Toasty, the Rotom Heat. Completely respectable. As turn 1, I have no business staying in here whatsoever. I'm going to... Actually, you know what? Let's fancy the situation first. Alright? That could potentially be problematic. Actually, I do eat the hit. And at +2, do I snag the kill is the question. I don't, but... Actually, nah. I don't think I should just let this thing take a hit so unnecessarily. So I'm going to opt to go out into my Clodsire here first of all, because with this, at least I'll be able to discern some information on what set this thing could potentially be. And in here, I can pretty much just take this as the opportunity to get my rocks up, like no questions asked. As he's gonna go straight for the electric terrain. Okay. I did not expect that at all. Pretty interesting, bro. What exactly are you scheming, I wonder? Okay, so he's not gonna... So basically, with this, he's gonna be able to stop the Yawn from being able to come through, which is a pretty good tech on his behalf, not gonna lie. I mean, ultimately, my Azumarill should be able to take on his Frostmoth if he so chooses to bring this thing against me. But ultimately, my play here, I think, is to go straight for Stealth Rocks. Alternatively, I could have just gone for a Poison Jab and see if I could have got a burn. But I don't think there's any necessity towards engaging in such a play right now. As he's gonna opt to go straight out in his Great Tusk, that's more than fine. This is a fine situation for me because here, what's gonna happen is that he is going to be pretty much forced to either Rapid Spin or Knock Off. If he Rapid Spin, he gets damage on himself, which will put him in range of +1 Terra Blast from Dragonite, unless of course he happens to be the Koba Berry. So that, or he sets up rocks on his own. So ultimately, me going out in my Honorary Ooks is 100% the play here and now, as I'm not sure exactly what he could want to go for. I mean, he could obviously try to go for Stealth Rocks, which I think is a completely valid play in itself. So yeah, he's gonna have to go for Rapid Spin. Yeah, that's actually what I expected him to do, honestly, because now he's gonna take Rocky Helmet damage, and now he is 110% in range. And he's gonna be... Yeah, oh sorry, I thought that Electric Turn was gonna die. But yeah, here in this situation, I don't think he has any business whatsoever staying in. And if he wants to go for a knockoff, that would be very surprising to me. But I think this is where he would want to switch out, because Psychic is so ridiculously spammable against him, it's not even funny. So yeah, my original proposed plan was to go straight for Yawn, because it covered pretty much every single play he could want to go for. But with this, I think that... Okay, cool. He does opt to switch out. Basically, I wanted to force him in a situation whereby going for a Yawn, I can freely go for a U-turn and whatnot. But he is gonna go straight out into his Toasty, the Rotom Heat, and this is fine. This is a fine situation, because what's happening right now is that I'm basically getting some gradual form of progression against him, which I think is pretty good from a long-term standpoint. So, realistically speaking, I could choose to opt to go out into my Mio and then go out into my and get some damage on this thing, because in doing so, +1 Aqua Tail should in theory be able to knock out a physically defensive Rotom Rotom Heat. Like in theory, there's hardly any reason for me to want to keep my Clodsire healthy. I personally think, as he actually does reveal to be the leftovers. Okay, this does make things a bit annoying, personally, but here, what I'm basically doing is putting my opponent in an interesting spot, because if he watched my game, he will know that Power Gem Choice Specs Meowscarada is definitely a thing. So maybe I could potentially force him to switch out. No, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Okay, fair play. But yeah, I'm gonna get a U-turn off. Him being leftovers is a bit annoying to me in the sense that, all right, so he's gonna actually opt to go straight for a Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, honestly, I feel like me going on my Meowscarada was probably the wrong play to make. But at the same time, like, I'm not really that too concerned, because while this is going to get the electric terrain away, I think I can still leverage the situation by going straight for Stealth Rocks again. And ultimately, like, the main Pokemon that's making me a bit afraid right now, truthfully speaking, would have to be that Frostmoth of his. But once again, I'm gonna just opt to go straight for another Stealth Rock. As realistically speaking, Rocks is very much problematic against him. And while he can definitely go out into his Great Tusk, again, he's taking damage on himself every time he chooses to attack me. And I don't think that's good for him. Alright, so he's gonna opt to go straight for another Electric Terrain. That's fair. It's fair because, like, again, he's basically trying to I'm assuming he's trying to set a situation where he's not gonna fall for any yawn shenanigans. So good on him for like scouting the situation. But yeah, like, the Frostmoth is really scaring me, guys. To be fair, Frostmoth doesn't get Ice Shard, so it does not get Ice Shard, which is pretty good to know. Honestly, I think I can just go for a Poison Jab. There's nothing else. Okay, now he's gonna try to go for a double Will-O-Wisp, which I find a bit of a perplexing play. But yeah, I'm not gonna make unnecessary doubles like that. If I can snag a Poison, which is exactly what I'm going to be able to do right now, this is going to be very beneficial for me, because, like, right now he is guaranteed to be in range of +1 Aqua Tail for my Dragonite if he happens to be fully physically defensive, and that, I feel, is a very worthwhile trade-off for sure. But yeah, I don't really see any reason to click anything else other than just continuously Poison Jabbing, if I'm being completely honest. Alternatively, I could just double out into my Wyndham. Honestly, I could just go out into my Big E. But again, if he wants to keep making unnecessary plays, then I do want to keep punishing that. So I'm going to actually just Poison Jab again. He's going to opt to switch out into... Okay, so he's going to go out into his Great Tusk again. Okay, that's fine. That's fine by me, because he's going to be taking Stealth Rock damage. And once again, if he tries to attack me, he is going to be able, he's going to hurt himself in the process. As I'm going to snag a crit, and I am going to be able to snag a poison as well. I'm really sorry about that, my man. But yeah, like, Clodsire is, even though it's burned, it's still putting in an insane amount of work, which is something you love to see. He basically has, I assume, 2 turns of, yeah, he has 2 turns of Electric Terrain, meaning that he will have 1 afterwards. Meaning that me going out into Uxie, I do not think is the wrong play to make at all. But yeah, I'm gonna go once again to my honorary Ooks, because if he wants to attack me, once again, he will put himself in a situation where he's gonna end up inadvertently hurting himself. And I think that is in itself 100% a worthwhile trade-off. As he's gonna have to go straight for a close combat. I don't know what exactly he's predicting here. I don't know exactly the hypothesis behind such plays, but I mean, we're definitely gonna take this, as he's gonna opt to go for an eject. Oh, okay, he's gonna actually reveal the eject pack. Good shout for sure. The annoying thing about Electric Terrain is that I don't necessarily know if I am going to be able to, like, put something to sleep immediately afterwards. Because once again, this Frostmoth is looking very, very scary to me right now. Alright, he's gonna go out in his Jester. Is that the Frostmoth? No, it's gonna be his Gengar. Okay, that's fine. I think that's fine ultimately. because first of all, Electric Terrain is going to end this turn. And second of all, I can easily just go out into my Clodsire here, no questions asked. Because when it's all said and done, my Manana dying is not really that much of a loss in the grand scheme of things, because ultimately when it's all said and done, like, this thing was mainly here to stop his Rotom Heat. Okay, so how much did that do? Interesting. I probably should have calced that. Oh man, what am I doing? Sorry if the commentary is a bit off today, guys. It's like the end of the day and I'm a bit tired. Shadow Ball does 36.5 to 42.9, and I don't think it's choice specs. That would not make much sense to me if I'm being completely honest, but ultimately I don't really care if Clodsire dying would be something obviously I would not like, because this thing has been just taking hits for days and not dying whatsoever. But if it comes down to it, I do not mind, as he's gonna go out into his Great Tusk again, which is more than fine by me, because once again, like, his Great Tusk is basically about to reach the end of its cycle for sure. Okay, so right now, I mean, honestly, if he there's hardly much reason for me to not go on in my Uxie again, because once again, like, if he wants to Rapid Spin, I think this is where he's going to die, meaning that hazards will 100% stay. So yeah, he's gonna have to go straight for another Rapid Spin. He's gonna try to do that, as I do believe, will he die is the question. No, he will not, unfortunately. So meaning that rocks are going to be off the field for him right now, which could potentially be problematic for me. Yeah, I probably should have counted that if I'm being completely honest, but I don't know. It's just the end of the day and I'm a bit tired. But yeah, down goes the Great Tusk, which is good on paper. But once again, like, I am very, very concerned about that Frostmoth of his. But it seems that he is not intent on going out into that anytime soon, which is a bit odd to me if I'm being completely honest. But at the same time, I guess I somewhat understand it. But yeah, I'm not gonna go out into my Mio anytime soon. That'd be absolutely silly. That'd be like absolutely so silly right now. But yeah, I think I'm gonna use this turn to be able to do course correction and be able to discern what set this Gengar of his could potentially be. So I'm gonna actually go out in my Manana. Chances are this thing will be in range as of now. But yeah, let's see how much damage it does. I need to know what set this thing is. Is it gonna have to go for a Shadow Ball? Okay. Right, so turns out I'm really bad at math. I don't see much scope in letting this thing run amok, and personally speaking, I would rather not any damage be inflicted on my on my Meowscarada unnecessarily. So yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna let this thing go down, as he's gonna have to go straight for a Shadow Ball. That's fine. As down goes the Clodsire. Very unfortunate, but it's also not the worst thing in the world, because so that does looks like specs damage to me. So I definitely cannot go out into my I 100% cannot under any circumstances go out into my Windham right here and now. So that is off the table for now. Honestly, I could just also go out in my Dragonite, because realistically speaking, unless of course he's Focus Sash, I do think I just straight up kill everything from here. Oh shit. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna go out into my Meowscarada. Yeah, I wish Game Freak actually was able to show the exact timer instead of showing things in the literal last second. Like, it's so stupid. Hello? But yeah, I do think ultimately Knockoff seems like a pretty free play to engage in right now. Him having that Rotom Heat is a bit annoying to me, if I'm being completely honest. It's very annoying to me, so I think I want chip damage on this thing, courtesy of a Knockoff. So I think that's exactly what I'm gonna click right now. I'm gonna click Knockoff, as yeah, like under other circumstances I would have just gone out in my Gengar. I could have just gone in my Dragonite and then just hard DD'd. But yeah, Mio's gonna reveal the Dark type. I'm gonna click Knockoff, and that did absolutely piss poor damage. So this thing is very likely physically defensive as they get. So yeah, I think right now, at the very least, I should go out in my Uxie, because what I want to do right now is basically put him in a situation where I can bring in my Azumarill and basically go on from there. But if I have to give up one of my pieces to set up a Dragon Dance, that is exactly what I'm gonna be doing. But yeah, honestly speaking, this is where I wish I wasn't doubting my mathematics skills. Because yeah, there's, oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna opt to go out straight out into my honorary Ooks, because that is pretty much the best play for me to engage in right now. If you want to click electric terrain, that is fine. I mean, it's not the best, it's not the most ideal situation in the world, but it's something. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, alternatively, I could have definitely gone out into my Azumarill, because I'm kind of stretching myself thin against the Iron Leaves of his. Yeah, honestly, I should have just gone out into my Dragonite there. Unfortunate does not even begin to describe how I'm feeling right now. Yes, like, as unfortunate as the situation is, I think I may have to let my Wyndham go down, because truthfully speaking, I would rather keep my Uxie healthy to get some gradual amount of damage on the Iron Leaves of his. So Wyndham, I'm so sorry, my man. This was supposed to be your week. This definitely was supposed to be your week, but I'm gonna actually end up goofing up here big time, as I'm gonna opt to go out into him right now. Will I be able to take the hit though, is the question. Okay, I just gotta go for a Volt Switch, which, to be fair, is gonna prop my weakness policy. Yeah, this thing is actually gonna prop my weakness policy here and now, but it's not going to ultimately matter much, as he will be able to go out into who I assume to be his... Alright, he's gonna go out into his Gengar. That's fair. But I think this is where, unfortunately, I have to let this thing go down. Okay, he's gonna go for a Sludge Bomb. Okay, I thought that maybe, just maybe, there could have been a chance for me to potentially eat that. But no, unfortunately, that's not gonna be the case. But I do think that this is Specs damage. If you do that much amount of damage to me, you are 100% Specs AF, bruv. And if I were a betting man, this man, he does not have any priority with him whatsoever. So do I dedicate now? I think I do. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go out and dedicate to that right now, because I'm about to go straight out into the Megastar. What everybody's saying? L.A. Knight. Yeah. As I'm gonna go straight for a Dragon Dance and see exactly what happens. Yeah, I could have honestly just done this so much more earlier. So I'm a bit kicking, I'm kind of kicking myself here, guys. Because now I'm potentially risking a Sludge Bomb poison, and if that happens, I don't really have anybody to blame for that but myself. But he is going to opt to switch out. Okay. What are we gonna go out into? We're gonna go out into Toasty, that's what. Alright. As I'm gonna be able to set up the Dragon Dance. As now, what I'm gonna be doing is taking this as the opportunity to see how much damage my LA Knight does to that Rotom Heat of his. It does 5.7 to 7%. And I think he definitely kills. Come on. This thing dies. Alright? I'm gonna click low kick. Kindly go down, please. Thank you, sir. As yeah, this low kick is gonna be able to pick off that Rotom Heat, and I'm not gonna have to risk a situation where I would have to potentially risk my where I would have to potentially risk potentially risk it missing. As right now, I do think that this puts me in a very good position, for sure. I do kill that Walking Wake, but he does opt to go out into his Frostmoth, which is completely understandable. Regardless, my play is as clear as day. I'm going to Terrasilize, and I'm going to click Terra Blast right now. I still 100% need to play very carefully against his Walking Wake, as well as his Iron Leaves, but with my Uxie being healthy, I should hopefully be fine, I think. As Frostmoth is definitely a threatening Pokemon, but with me forcing it out right now, this does make things far more favorable for me. It's just a matter of, okay, no, I'm gonna be able to outspeed it, and I know that this thing does not get any priority. As Terra Blast is gonna come out, it's gonna be able to knock that Frostmoth out, and oh my god, guys! All right, that's not a focus-sized Frostmoth. Okay, this is amazing. I think I can just win now, guys. Holy shit! All right. All I needed at the end of the day was just one well-timed Dragonette, and it seems that things may finally be coming full circle for your boy. With this Frostmoth going down and my Dragonites and multi-scale still being intact, this is absolutely phenomenal. Out comes a Iron Sword, and it does not reveal to be any item. It does not reveal to be the booster energy at all. Even if you end up terrestrializing into a fire type, you still die, my man. Yeah, you ain't eating this. There ain't no chance in hell you're eating this. So I'm gonna actually opt to go for a Terra Blast right here and now. You guys get what I mean, because here's the thing. Leaves does not have the best physical defense at all. And you're gonna see right now what a Shark Beak boosted Terra Blast +1 is gonna do to it, as this Iron Sword is gonna go straight down. And with that being said, I think we may just be ending the game courtesy of the Megastar, with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah. All right. Perfect. So he's gonna have to go out into his Gengar again. Completely understandable. As right now, I'm gonna click Aqua Tail. I'm not playing around with this. All right, I'm not gonna let this thing be able to get a card's body off. As yeah, I'm gonna be able to connect, knock this thing out, and right now there's absolutely nothing stopping me from getting my destined victory. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. All right, because the last Pokemon is going to be his Walking Wake. It is going to boost his special attack, but unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna do anything for him. Yeah, I don't think this thing is gonna save anything for him at all, because if that is how the situation is, +1 Terra Blast still is gonna be able to knock it out. So you know what? That's exactly what we're gonna go for. So will the Megastar, will LA Knight be able to take it on, as Terra Blast is going to come on up, and will it knock down that Walking Wake of his? Yes, it is. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all kinds, the Bullet Punch Club is going to take a nice and glorious 4-0 victory. All right. Yeah, this match really went well. See, like, because the moment I was able to discern that Gengar was 100% choice specs, I realized then and there that wait a second, I can just pretty much go for a Dragon Dance and go for broke. And it turns out that this is exactly what ended up happening, because with this Frostmoth not being Focus Sash, he was not able to acquire any sense of damage against me whatsoever, which then was able to help put me in a position where I was able to just take him down. But at the same time, I don't really think that it would have made much of a difference in the grand scheme of things, because Frostmoth does not actually get Ice Shard in Generation 9. I don't know if it got it in Generation 8, but regardless, we're going to be able to take the W on this one, courtesy of what I said was the best Terra Pokemon in the entire Scarlet and Violet metagame. So yeah, GG to my man, Just Weavile. Like, he's an absolute sweetheart, guys. He's made pretty much my first thumbnails when I decided to enter the GBA. He came through for me not once and twice, and it sure was very nice. So, like, if possible, please do check his channel out. He makes some really high quality Wi-Fi battling content, and he's just a demon in general in terms of, you know, the thumbnails and so on. But yeah, with that being said, my name is Deuce Gunner. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a glorious day, and I shall see you all next week as we hopefully try to continue our winning streak. Whoosh.